Hello, look at this, you guys. Again, 2 weeks in a row, I've remembered to turn the microphones on. We're here We're live. Everything's been accomplished. I don't think we've screwed anything up, and we are 5 minutes in. So, you know it's going to be a great day. Welcome to the Brunch Gimmick here on Love Wrestling. Thank you for tuning in on YouTube. If you're here and you're not subscribed, you're not following, you haven't thrown a like, make sure you do all of those lovely little things. It helps us out a ton here on lovewrestling.ca. JPJ, good to see you. Noob, good to see you. Alex Rain, good to see you. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you for tuning in. A little bit later on in the show today, we're going to be tuning into LPW 5. We're going back quite literally a year in the Love Pro Wrestling archives to check out Willow Nightingale versus Zoë Sager, because I know we talked about that a little bit last week. So here we are this week. It's your same terrific trio. Troublesome trio? I don't know. I like alliteration. You guys know me. It's good to see you, friends, whether you're on screen or in the chat. Let us know what you want to be talking about from the wide world of professional wrestling this week. Blair Pacheco, how you doing, stud? It's good to see you.
I am top notch, this morning.
I like that.
You like that?
That's good. Oh,
woke
yeah.
Up,
Yeah.
I went for a run this morning, then came home, ate pizza, and me and Pluggo did 4 Exposure, which you can watch here on Love Wrestling. So it was good.
It was a blast to tune into today as well. Obviously, when you've got such great events, I love tuning into some GCW myself, some deathmatch wrestling myself. So always got a lot of love, but I always love hopping in at 8 a.m. on a Sunday morning on my end and talking deathmatch wrestling right off the bat. We may get into some deathmatch here. We'll get into whatever the hell y'all want. Lawrence, it's good to see you. I'm going to see you in about 2 weeks' time.
Yep.
Isn't that a neat thing? Isn't that a real neat thing? But how are you doing today? Let's worry about that later.
I'm doing great. Got up early, grabbed some breakfast with my friend. Then this is my old part of my neighborhood, so like near my childhood home. So I grabbed ice cream afterwards, walked home, got ready for the show. It was a perfect morning.
Nice.
That is a heck of a day, you know, for myself. And this is the theme of Spencer Love's last few weeks. Was in the backyard, was in the garden, getting some work done back there. Yesterday, I went and picked up. I'm starting to sound so friggin' old, but like I went and picked up like some tomato plants, and I got all my lettuce and carrots and Swiss chard planted, and everything's mowed and seeded. And well, Spencer Love's gonna have a good looking backyard coming up here sooner rather than later, friends. So stop by for a drink, stop by for an Alley Cat Brainbuster brew if we're gonna be shouting out some specifics here. And if you're supporting people that support us by picking up from Alley Cat, make sure you're continuing to do so, because you got to work the calories off after that. Head to RK Athletics 1 on social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or his website, rkathletics.ca. Rich is great both in the ring and outside of the ring, and specifically on outside the ring's end of things. He can give you some great advice as far as it goes for your personal training, for your physical fitness, for your nutritional information. You know what? I would highly suggest you don't eat plastic.
He's talking to me. I do be eating a lot of plastic.
Lawrence, please do not be eating any plastic.
Frankly, it's plastic's fault for being so delicious.
I know, that is the real issue. Frickin' jerks.
Hey, everything was going good.
So
on
if you
our
want
end.
good nutritional advice, there's my little sneak peek for you. But head to RK Athletics 1 on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Get some great nutritional advice, personal fitness advice, and everything in between from a great individual and one half of the inaugural LPW Tag Team Champions. Also, if you've got the opportunity, make sure you're heading over to betstamp.com or you're visiting them on the App Store. It is the easiest way to put more money in your pockets through sports betting. Let me tell you, sometimes when you have put money on the Florida Panthers since the start of the Stanley Cup Finals, you got to double down. So old Spencer went out. He put some money on the Panthers this morning, because if you're going to dive in with both feet. But I got a little bit better odds on that. So if the Florida Panthers do end up coming back, then old Spence has more money in his jeans. Thanks to BetStamp. Make sure if you head there, you put in our referral code LOVEWRESTLING. It helps us out a ton. Again, we always appreciate you guys tuning in, hopping in the chat, however you do choose to support. But if you want to go a little bit extra, you want to give us a little bit more help, that's one of the great ways to do so. Last plug, and then Lawrence, start to get your thinking cap on, because you're going to give us the first topic for today. But if you want to support a little bit extra as well, head over to patreon.com/lovewrestlingca. We've got a lot of great stuff up there, including our newly released interview with Gigi Ray, hosted by that beautiful man over there. And you can tell it's a good day. You know why? Because I figured out which way to frickin' point. But I want to point to the person on the other side of me right here on YouTube. Lawrence, said it was on to you. So where do you want to start with our journey this week in professional wrestling?
I mean, first thing off the top of my head, we've got the announcement of the first Collision match heading the week before Forbidden Door. We've got the return of CM Punk with FTR. You got CM FTR versus Samoa Joe, and I guess he's technically for one day only part of the Bullet Club ish.
Bullet Club
I'm
adjacent.
counting it.
Yeah.
I'm counting it. You know what? And this is not by any means an indictment, but if Mia Yim's in the Bullet Club, then we're counting Samoa Joe. Okay, I think that's only fair.
Frankly, I feel like Sue should jump to the Bullet Club.
Trent's mom, Sue?
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Yes, blanket.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's move on.
Wait, when do we get former Bullet Club member Jeff Jarrett joining up with the Bullet Club Black and Gold?
What hasn't
throw
Jeff
that out
Jarrett
there.
done?
Yeah.
Like what has Jeff Jarrett not done?
Reunite with
at
his
some
family.
goddamn point, I would half bet that guy's going to be the third guy in the Shield. Like
Yeah.
walking out all proud with a guitar over his head, like Kurt Angle.
With the SWAT vest
Wouldn't
on.
be the first time he stole
Yeah.
something from Kurt Angle.
Oh,
Okay, that was just right there, and I apologize because that's earned to apologize, but that was also
Spencer
really good.
shooting.
yeah.
Speaking of Karen Jarrett, let's talk about the most exciting match announcement to come out of AEW this week. We've somehow this steamrolls down the hill still. We've got Aubrey Edwards and Mark Briscoe and Papa Briscoe against Karen Jarrett, Jeff Jarrett, and Jay Lethal. Blair, please make sense of this for me. Just
They were like, they took their old wrestling simulator game, Extreme Warfare, and decided what is the most random match we can put on. And Tony Khan's like, I've got it. And then he's just creating Aubrey and Papa Briscoe. And it is going to be a spectacle, and it's going to be great. And I'm going to love every minute of this 8-minute match. That's
no
it.
one take my this is unbelievable in the most literal sense of words.
Yeah.
And I am so goddamn excited for it. I love ridiculousness in
Yeah.
pro wrestling, and man, Papa Briscoe's in it. Like ridiculous in the best way, shape, or form. It's just like you said, man. When I was listing that match there, I felt like it was like a Mad Lib. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm 8 years old again and just filling in a book with name wrestler, name referee, name father, name spouse, name wrestler. That's what that fills out to.
Yeah.
We are a Satnam Singh away from being just the best wrestling match of all time.
Yeah.
And you know what else would help with that? You make her a 4-man, just fucking bring back Shaq at this point.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's just why are we not? Bebe, thank you for hopping in. It's tragic and wonderful simultaneously. I wouldn't even use the word tragic because that implies sad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think unbelievable. I do not believe that this match is happening, and I'm just so excited. I love car crash theater. The best pro wrestling, and we've said her a million times, is a freaking variety show buffet, and this is your soap opera portion of the evening. And I'm here for it. I'm so here for it.
The saddest thing about it is that, one, it's not going to be on a pay-per-view, and two, the match will have to come to an end. So
It is. Yeah, you make some very good points there. Although we could just be setting up for the cage match.
Yeah. For 3 months program.
Oh my
God.
Blood and guts.
Yeah.
You've seen a double dog collar match in Ring of Honor, brother.
Aubrey now has to be a day one playable character in the game.
Yeah. I would be shocked if she wasn't, just purely on the fact that if I had any input onto any video games design or anything on those lines of things, you better believe there'd be a playable Spencer Love.
Yeah.
And Aubrey Edwards is far more justified in being a playable video game character than I am.
Fred Durst was a playable character in a WWE video game. You should have at least be able to use referees.
You could skateboard as Gene Simmons in
Yeah.
Pro Skater 2, and I think that's all that really needs to be said. All the Aubrey haters will be looking for everything to hate on. Yeah, fuck them. I don't have a better way to put it. I really don't. Aubrey, and I got a lot of love for Aubrey because she was out here in the Pacific Northwest for years and years and years before moving on to All Elite Wrestling. But just a great referee. There's a reason that one of the biggest names of all time, like Chris Jericho, personally requests her refereeing her matches. So just on merit alone, she's great at her job. Come on. I don't get the Aubrey hate. I really don't.
Nah.
I don't get the Remsburg hate. I love an over-the-top referee.
Yeah.
I really do. Referees shouldn't have characters. What's red shoes then? Like, let's just get real here. I don't know. There's one of probably many small little rants I'll have today because, well, we're talking about this triple threat match.
It's good
or
for
trios
them to
match.
have personalities, though. Like, why not? You know, you see them; they're a part of every show, so why not? You know, it's not like they're making it about themselves. It's just, you know, they're a character in it.
I don't remember which referee it was in the NHL, but there was that clip that was going around for months and months and months of both of these men 5 minutes each for fighting. Yeah, like, could you imagine if you're a hockey fan sitting there like, you know, I hate that referees shouldn't have personalities. Like, what a stick in the mud you would be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why are we complaining about the same thing in the most over-the-top sport in the world? Because I love it anywhere else. I love it anywhere else.
Yeah. People.
So I refer back to my previous statement on the Aubrey hate. Very excited for this match. Frankly, like, you're talking about the forbidden door being broken. Like, here we go. We've got every promotion ever involved in this match.
Yeah.
Global Force is there. We go. Global Force smiles from the heavens on this.
Global Force is kicking down the forbidden door.
Boom. Boom. Just a quick comment because I saw that Dave Meltzer had mentioned it earlier or last night or whenever his latest episode came out that Stardom wrestlers were not going to be a part of Forbidden Door because they couldn't get Canadian visas. You don't need a Canadian work visa to come in and
That's what
wrestle
everyone's
in Canada.
saying.
You just do not. That's why. And don't quote me on this. This is Bick saying it. Like, that's why you've got so many American professional wrestlers that can come up here and not vice versa.
Yeah, he would have been better off just stopping the statement at they have a pay-per-view that same day, so they're not going to be there. You know.
There you are. Pluggo! Thank you for hopping in, and thank you for the super chat, you wonderful human being. It's certainly appreciated. As always, we always try and highlight your comments. We'll chat about them. If you want to be on the screen, you want anything on there, you want anything specifically read, again, within reason, anything that's got an ick-ism or obia attached to it, consider that a no-go, but we'll take your money. Just not put you on screen, ban you, and there we go. Don't throw that out there. But super chats, always welcome. You can get anything read on screen. I know we've certainly taken advantage of Pluggo and JPJ on that on Thursday nights. Pluggo, you have apologized to the Rads. I do want to make that one very clear. That's it. That's all. But I can't give Pluggo too much hate. He's a Riders fan, so like he does have a heart. Moving on from there, obviously, we're about 20 minutes in. So, like you said, CM Punk returning to the ring with FTR this Friday or Saturday. First match back in years. Tony Khan somewhat commented on CM Punk for the first time in a year, saying like, you know, we've missed him. We're excited to see him back. Yada yada yada. Man, why can't somebody at some point just be like, dude, we got in a fight and it's over now?
Yeah.
That's it. That's all. I really wish Dax still had a podcast. This is worth me listening to 20 minutes of tequila tasting to find out what's going to happen here on Saturday night, or just like, I don't know, not even for just like the heat or the deliciousness or anything like that of it. I like hearing how business deals come together. It'd be cool to find out like the whole process on what happened with Collision and the talks to bring Punk back and all that. But we'll have to wait for the book.
Yeah.
Don't bite my frickin' seat. What the hell, man? No. Just get that out of your mouth. Do you know how expensive fucking chairs are?
It's Spencer's fault for getting a chair made of licorice.
It is true.
It's a
I do
chair.
have a candy chair, and that's the unfortunate part.
I am the candy king. My name is Spencer. I sit in my candy throne.
Go to this. King of the castle. Yeah, no, my dog's just eating my chair in plastic, but that's fine. And the worst part is, man, like, I'm just gonna be blunt with it. Like, this dude lives good. Like, he's getting treats all the time. Don't eat my chair.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
From CM Punk. Yeah, me too. It could have been both.
CM Punk's living good too. Unless that guy's a financial idiot, and I don't think he is. I have no reason to believe otherwise. Like, he's got to be doing. Mortgage is paid, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
I really do. I have found just having a conversation with my worst enemy can work wonders. Come on, Punk and the Elite, even just business wise. Like what? You're printing money. You are printing money.
It's sneaky how fast Collision has come up, and then a week later is Forbidden Door 2, and we have 2 matches announced, so I'm imagining the next week and a bit is just going to be announcement after announcement with everything.
It feels very different than the last time, because if I remember right, like a lot of the matches were announced in advance and on Dynamite, and like you'd sort of had your Tanahashis and everybody showing up by this point. Like, not that it's been undersold or underplayed or anything like that, but like with Collision being so close to it and with Tony Khan doing major announcements, it seems like every 12 minutes, like, I don't know. Does it feel understated this time? Because the matches themselves are friggin' huge. That's the thing. It's not like they're under-delivering with what they've announced, but it seems like there's a lack of announcement.
I think it's just the desire and impatience. Like, I want to know more of the card because it's so close to like 2 weeks away. It's right around the corner. So I do want to know more, but then in the same breath, it's like, okay, well, we've got 2 of the biggest matches that could be made possible. They could just announce that and be like, oh yeah, there's going to be other wrestlers. And I'd be like, okay, I'll still pay $50 to watch it.
A couple of questions in the chat here from Pluggo number 1. All the Mindy's muffins and spindrifts you can dream of. CM Punk or Spencer's dog. I'll take Rip 10 out of 10 times, brother. And that ain't anything against old CM Punk. I think anybody would take their dog. If you don't, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why anybody would. Bebe, do you guys have a thought to why Canadian ticket sales have been so low? I don't know. This might be my own speculation, and hear me out on it a little bit, but like, Canadian fans invest in people, and I think there are a lot of Canadian wrestling fans that are like on the side of the Elite as far as shit went down. So like, I'd personally be psyched to see CM Punk. Never seen him perform live. Had the opportunity to meet him before All In when they had it in Chicago. But other than that, like, never had the chance to see him perform live. I don't think any Canadians have had the chance to see him perform live, obviously, unless he travels. Like, this will be Punk's first stint in Canada since WWE. Was he on the 2 Dynamites? No, he wasn't on either of them that were in Canada. So I don't know, but I also do think that there is like some. I can't speak for all Canadians here, but certainly speculating, there might be a little bit more apathy towards CM Punk just based on the fact that, like, number one, it's at least in my opinion, however everything's come down and everything you see in the dirt sheets, brother, like, I'd certainly be on the side of the Elite, and I don't know if people want to pay to see someone who they think is on the wrong side of shit.
Yeah, like,
but it could also just be the fact that, like, well, it's a new show. The only thing we've got announced is a main event, and yeah, it's a cool main event, but other than that.
Yeah, I think there's also one of the things WWE has been doing right, which AEW can do more of, especially when they're going to these other territories, putting somebody from that place in a main event spot, like in a big title fight with, like, you just saw what happened in Montreal with Sami Zayn. Like, if they were able, like, obviously they just don't have the people there now, but like, if you have the ability to do it, put that person in the match, like, it will heat up the crowd that's there and definitely help with selling tickets. Which, like, they've got Kenny Omega, but he's part of the, like, he's a member in the Elite storyline. So, like,
but they got a lot like, a lot of Canadians. It's not as though, like, you've got him, like, you've got Jericho, you've got 2.0, you've got Ethan Page, you've got all these. Look, the Bunny. Like, let's get real. And it's not as though the Butcher and the Blade weren't working fairly consistently in Canada either, right? Like, I don't know. I think you're bang on there, Lawrence, in that there are a lot of ways that they can highlight that a little bit more. Because even Blair, you were there personally. Like, when Jericho and Omega were in the ring together in Winnipeg, I felt that in fucking Edmonton.
Yeah, it's, you had goosebumps because of the reaction with those two in the ring. It's something you never ever thought you would see, especially like in Winnipeg. You know, like, you would dream about, like, oh, it'd be a cool matchup, and then to actually have it happen, it was like, okay, this is incredible. But I think the fact that there's no TV deal announced for Canada, you have it on TSN Plus for streaming. Which you go up to watch Rampage, and some days it doesn't even work on there. So I mean, come on, let's do something. You get good ratings for Dynamite, put it on the regular channel and let's carry on. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you do that, and then even like a Saturday show, people do like to go to the cabin, so that's going to take away for viewers. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's tough. I mean, I still will consider driving to Regina because I can manage that. If
you go, I'll meet you there.
Yeah, but that's
If you go, I'll
wait
meet you
and
there.
see.
If you go, I'll meet you there.
I'll have to wait and see.
I'll meet you halfway. Yeah, so that's all our own speculation, to be honest with you. Like, I truly don't know what the lack of ticket sales are. The last I saw, and it was a tweet like 2 days ago or so, but I saw that after the Punk announcement, there were only like 700 more tickets sold for the Hamilton date. So there's a lot they can do, and I'm still confident they'll sell well, to be honest with you. Like, I have no reason to doubt, like you were even saying, Lawrence, if you can start to get more of these explicit Canadians on the card, like, yeah, lots of love to another trios match, but like, it's another trios match main event, at least for the first show. So no, that's not Canada specific, but how excited can you be when it seems like it's going to be a retread of what we've gotten before?
Yeah, you know what? If they announced Jericho for some of these shows, I bet you they'd sell more tickets. Just saying he's going to be there, I bet you would see more people go. But they haven't,
because you ain't getting Omega.
Not at all.
You ain't getting Kenneth for these ones, guys. That's not a prediction. That's a spoiler. Speaking of, and just to like sidetrack real quick, with the Heymanism there, if you guys haven't had the chance to check out the Paul Heyman interview he just did with Rick Rubin, I'll pull up the name of the podcast because it was a long name, and I can't read at the best of times. But if you got the opportunity, it was like a 3-hour interview. Tetragrammaton. That's the podcast name. So that's not even like it's my fault. That's a hard word to read. But if you guys have the opportunity, it was a 3-hour sit-down interview. They talked, I'm sure you guys have seen the highlights already coming out about like Roman Reigns' character change and all of that. But like, man, Paul Heyman's just a fascinating individual. So would recommend, if you're going to spend 3 hours in the garden this afternoon, like old Spencer's going to, you got some listening material for all of it. But there we go. There's your sort of AEW little bit of breakdown. What else did I have on my notes of stuff that happened this week? Charlotte Flair's back. Yay.
Yeah.
Charlotte Flair. Like
I feel like you bring her back. I feel like Asuka's got to get the win on Charlotte. Like Charlotte, I think
Here's time. Here's a question for you though. Are you confident in this?
No, I'm not at all. Like
I have zero confidence that Asuka's winning this. I hope so.
Yeah.
I think it's the right decision. But am I confident in it? No. In fact, I'm more confident that as soon as I finish this sentence, I'm going to have to yell at my dog again for eating fucking plastic. Where? Thank you. Now it's at a danger point. Like, you already got, he already got a bite of plastic. You already got some. So, like, now you're just, if you're going to have plastic, you got to space it out now. So that what with not wanting to asphyxiate yourself. Right? We don't want you asphyxiated. We do not want you to asphyxiate yourself by eating plastic. Say hello to the internet. I am firmly against dogs dying. There we go. There's a hot take for you. Thanks. Brunch off the rails, but it only took us 28 minutes today, so we're a little ahead of it. Charlotte Flair's back. Asuka, we hope, is winning. On that note, though, Asuka's got a brand new title. The Undisputed Women's Championship. I have a feeling that Rhea Ripley's going to have a dispute or two on Monday.
Yeah. But like,
what are they going to name that title? And what is the point, I guess, is the overarching for me.
It's going to be the world. I feel like it's going to be the world heavyweight with like a white strap, which looks nice. Like they both, like honestly, the women's titles look nicer than the men's titles with the white strap if they do that.
Right. I don't disagree, but like... Yeah.
They did this
just why? And to be honest with you, like, why are you doing all this shit so close together? It's just like it's not as though any of this is special anymore. Like now that they've gotten 3 new titles, like for me, it's like, oh, they're rebranding, not they're doing something meaningful or cool. It's well, I gotta switch them up.
Yeah, it's like even like I feel when hopefully Walter breaks Honky Tonk Man's record.
Who?
The Honky Tonk Man.
Who? Who breaks his record?
Did I say Walter? I
You
meant
did say
Günther.
Walter.
I
There
did
you
say
go.
Walter.
Thank
There
you.
we
I
go.
was so very confused. So very confused as to why the lead in Breaking Bad was going to pass the honky tonk man. Very confused as to why the Muppet introduced in the Jason Segel Muppets movie was going to be wrestling for the Intercontinental title.
Spoiler alert. This is going to be on the dirt sheet soon. It's going to happen.
Breaking news here on Love Wrestling's Brunch Gimmick. There's something
Man,
you're
if
never
Gunter
going to
loses
hear.
to a Walter, the wrestling will be the
The
best thing
ultimate slap in the
Yeah.
face. The ultimate slap in the face. Yeah, year long. Very proud of very proud of old Goomph, as they call him backstage. They don't call him that backstage, in case anyone was curious. Who would have thought? Man, just what a hell of a this is easily the best run since at the very least The Miz.
Yeah.
Like since he was doing that whole Dolph Ziggler feud. But he's the first guy to go a year since Savage? No, it had to be someone more recent than that. Oh, just got a nice little message. Let's figure that out because somebody sent out a tweet. He's the fifth guy to carry it on longer than a year. Can't remember who they all were. What are you doing over there, Lawrence?
I dropped my phone and hit my desk simultaneously.
Thanks for ruining Brunch.
Yeah.
I can't remember though, but it's been a year for old Gunther. Big old feud with Sheamus is one of the best feuds in wrestling over the last little bit.
Yeah.
The cool thing is, like the story was, I want to kick your ass, and how fucking simple is that? And how rare is it you just see something that simple?
Mhm.
I don't need someone to be going to funerals and hopping in caskets. I just need two dudes who want to beat the hell out of each other. Let's not overthink this thing anymore.
Yeah.
I want to kick your ass, brother. All right.
Let's fight.
I would like to kick your ass in defense of this championship, and I would like to kick your ass in order to win that championship. That easy. What else have I got on my notes here? Oh, let's go back to, well, actually, this works well. Match of the week for me this week, Gunther versus Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
At least from what I've had the opportunity to see, because to be honest with you, Blair, like I save for exposure and then just go and watch a few matches from those shows. But Gunther versus Kevin Owens so far is my match of the week. I will update y'all by the end of the night. Kenta versus CM Punk for Forbidden Door. I got to be honest with you, I don't buy it. I don't think it's happening. Like this is 2 weeks out. Nothing has even really been teased on socials officially, other than Kenta saying, you know, if I'm gonna wrestle CM Punk, I got to get the bag. Which, fuck yeah, Kenta.
Yeah.
I love you so much. I'll wrestle anybody if I get the bag. Yes.
Yeah.
It ain't the wrestling friendship and all these cliches that you hear. I'll wrestle anyone. I want to get the bag. I love you, former Hideo Itami. Good on you.
Oh,
And if they do it, he has to come out to Shane McMahon's
He's a
music.
doo-doo.
But him,
look,
here comes the money. Kenta coming out to Shane McMahon's music.
Oh, it's the only time you're going to hear Shane McMahon's music for about the next year.
Yeah.
well, since Punk stole his,
It's
since Punk
especially
stole his,
the. No, you make your joke first. We'll just keep going back and forth.
I was gonna say, since Punk stole all of Kenta's moves, Kenta just steals theme music and come out to Live in Color.
Cult of personality. Yes. Come up to this Firebirds. There we go. Throw some dollars. If you're getting the bag, you can throw some to Kill Switch Engage. There you
they
go.
are. Roddy.
Yes. Make it a twofer. There you go.
yeah.
We've officially solved everyone's problem. So Kenta's going to come out to This Fire Burns, and Punk's going to come out to Here Comes the Money. And it's just going to be, it'll be like Brock and Goldberg at Mania 33 or whatever. I just want to see like 64 GTSs and maybe a submission hold. After that, I don't care. I don't know. It doesn't seem big enough. It just doesn't, like, and not the match itself. Don't get me wrong there, but like you say, we're 2 weeks out. Any other pay-per-view, if we were sitting here before fucking WWE Backlash, we're after the 10-minute mark, so we can curse. It's like it's after 10 p.m., so we can drink if we want, and we can say whatever the hell we want. I think you should lariat. June 30th. Love pro wrestling in Edmonton. It's 2 weeks out, and if we were at the WWE Backlash pay-per-view, everybody would be losing their minds at the fact that there's only been 2 matches announced.
Mm-hmm. It's a testament to the goodwill that the fans have that, you know, that they can get away with this and only have 2 matches, 2 incredible matches. But I want more, like, especially when you're getting these dream type matches. Like, I want to know who Punk's facing. Is it going to be Tanahashi? Is it going to be whomstever? But like,
is it going to be like, are we getting MJF and Adam Cole?
I hope not.
Like that's what are we going to do with MJF? Like, because here's my other thought: is now we're going to get like Sonata or Yano or someone like that, like popping up at the end of this Adam Cole MJF match, and that's just going to be it. You're the champion, I'm the champion, so let's wrestle.
Yeah.
Which again, we talked earlier about just the simplicity of stuff, but like, you need more than that of a story.
Mm-hmm.
Why would MJF want to kick? Like, he said for how long, I don't want to work Forbidden Door. They're a shindy, they're a whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Opinions I certainly don't hold, but Max's words, not mine. Like, what's going to convince him to step into New Japan? Quote unquote. It's a co-branded pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I still think he should just be sitting up in the press box. He should never work a Forbidden Door, and that should be his gimmick. Just doesn't want to do it, you know? So
yeah, until you get a reason.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, what's anybody going to do? Like, Adam Cole, I think it was his second last match before he was ended up on the IR, for lack of a better way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, was at Forbidden Door. This has to be a statement for him. I wrestled my last major match at the last Forbidden Door, and I'm going to wrestle statement-making match at my next Forbidden Door. Something like that. Like, I don't know. And Blair, you're just frankly more well-versed with New Japan than I am. So, like, you'd maybe have some options that make sense for a lot of these people. But even for me, like, it's hard to just look at New Japan and be like, okay, here's the fit, here's the fit, here's the fit.
Yeah.
I think,
you know, Kenta and Punk is really the only one that I could even make the argument for. But
I would go the match, the pandemic canceled, which was Orange Cassidy versus Suzuki, which was a lot of people were
there we go
for the international title.
And I feel like I say it all the time, but there's still the Owen tournament that they have matches for, like, that they're starting at Forbidden Door. So I mean, throw up the bracket, you know, like, just so we know. That's all you gotta do.
Like, the thing with
easy little, like, stopgap, that's the best way I can put it, is that'll placate some people. You find out what's going on there. Is Adam Cole defending his Owen Hart title?
No, it's
like, is that a thing? Is
no,
this a greatest Royal Rumble thing?
I was about to say that. It's a greatest Royal
Braun
Rumble
Strowman,
thing.
Congratulations on day 1872 is the greatest Royal Rumble champion. And you can fact check me on that number because I looked it up the other day.
But, like,
is it 1868 on Thursday or Friday, something like that? So you'd be 1071, 1072, or 1872. The big dog at 1,000. And Braun's gonna hit 2,000 days because now he's got a titanium neck.
Yeah.
Well wishes, of course. Like, no one. Well wishes, of course, to Braun Strowman on his recovery from surgery. But it means he doesn't have to defend that title any longer than he never already has.
Somebody like 5 years should just call him out on it. Be like, oh yeah,
happen in a promo one day.
Yeah.
It will 100% happen in a promo one day. The same way that Triple H. I always love it because I saw another clip where, you know, didn't you used to be Jamaican?
Yeah.
Or I don't know if you guys have ever seen the clip too. He was doing an interview. I think it was like with the DX reunion with Renee Paquette, and he's like, yeah. She's like, any final words for your opponent or any final words before you step to the ring or something? He's like, yeah. Why don't you ever wear shoes when we're doing this? And the camera pans down and she's barefoot. Like, I think they're 100% going to do something like that with Braun. Like, yeah, why haven't you defended your title?
Yeah.
I'd love it because he hasn't. And it'd be way cooler than a tag team with Ricochet. I like both of them. That team is less than the sum of its parts.
Yeah. Like,
anyways, anybody want to talk about less Forbidden Door stuff?
Hold on, I was going to mention that, like, the thing with Tony Khan is, like, on a whole, for a dude who has, like, I've seen if you've watched AEW, the reality show, like, And he's
Total
mentioned it
Divas?
before. Yes, the AEW Total Divas. All Access. And he's talked about it before. He's got like everything meticulously planned, and he's got like a whole fold out almost map.
Yeah, I saw he was doing like that with Sammy Guevara, wasn't he?
Yeah, of like all the storylines planned out. But he feels like every pay-per-view now feels like the dude who just remembered there's a pay-per-view coming up a few days, like 2 weeks before, and is scrambling desperately to book everything. Like, oh shit, wait, this is a thing I have to do. And like figures it out.
That's what he says.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Yeah, I don't disagree with you at all. So to sum up our conversation from today, we wish that Forbidden Door was maybe a little bit more prepared for it by this point. I wish we had some more matches. I think everybody here agrees on that. Aubrey and the Briscoes teaming together is the best thing to happen in professional wrestling thus far this year. Perhaps my favorite thing since Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville, as far as just ridiculousness that I'm very much looking forward to. My match of the week, Gunther versus Kevin Owens. I also want to throw a shout out to my other match of the week thus far, Killer Kelly versus Masha Slamovic in an actual dog collar match. I made the joke earlier, but it was sick. Shout out to Alex Shelley. Shout out to Chris Shaben. I tried to Sean Connery that one. And Charlotte Flair is back. There you go. There's your brunch this morning. Do you guys want to do... I don't even know if I've told you guys this one yet, which is nice. You guys want to do an LPW match announcement before or after we watch a Willow Nightingale match?
After,
yeah.
Let's do it after. So what we'll do right now is I want to throw a big old shout out, as always here on Sunday Brunch, to our Patreons, Marissa and Kyle Hill, Art Middleton, Bree, Peggy D, Bebe, Uncle of Light, Ryan, who of course says Pluggo still needs to apologize to the Rads, Sarah Yakimitz and Andre, of course, of Andre and Melball's Wrestling Talk. Thank you guys. It is appreciated as all hell that not only do y'all tune in, y'all support, but you support a little bit extra. For that, we love throwing you extra content behind the paywall. So if you tune in today, like I said earlier, you're going to get Blair Pacheco's exclusive interview with Gigi Ray. Later this week, you're going to get an exclusive interview with Shaza McKenzie on that end of things. We've got some archived interviews coming out. I just dropped one that I did in 2020 with Duke the Dumpster Drosy. We've got some impending talent announcements coming in. There are some people making some returns to Canada, some debuts in Canada, and everything in between over the next little bit. And after this weekend, you're going to be tuning in to some Patreon exclusive matches courtesy of Love Pro Wrestling and Dreams Take Flight. This Saturday, we're going to be out at their tournament at Dorchester Ranch in Alberta, about 45 minutes out of Edmonton, for LPW 19th hole. If you saw the video earlier, you saw that Mars the Specialist, Reed the Thickness Matthews. Why did I say it like that? The Thickness Reed Matthews. Jesus. Sorry, Reed. I ruined that. Mars the Specialist, The Thickness Reed Matthews, and Lumberjack Larry Woods are going to be in a Falls Count Anywhere triple threat match on a golf course. Hot damn. That's just all I have to say about that. I am real excited there, and you're only going to be able to see it on the Patreon machine. However, right here on YouTube, you are able to tune in right now, and really whenever. The internet is forever. As Zoë Sager and Willow Nightingale face off. It is one of my favorite matches we've ever had the opportunity to put on in Love Pro Wrestling. To be honest with you, I feel like I'll say that every week because, well, whenever I'm on here at the very least, we pick a match that means a lot. Isn't just a great professional wrestling match, but it's a match that means a lot to us. So this one specifically, through the best of circumstances, Giselle Shaw was unable to make our event. She had been previously booked for this June 2022 show, LPW 5 Anarchy in the YEG. For all the right reasons, she was unable to make it. But we were able, because of that, to have the opportunity to bring in Willow Nightingale just days after she wrestled Jade Cargill for the TBS Championship. Means a lot that somebody that early in our time with Love Pro, it's going to hit the screen here sooner rather than later. And it's going to just, there we go. Knew that was going to happen. Yeah. Huge shout out to Whale and the Wolf for letting us use their tune Do It Loud as our official track for LPW 5. But this was a banger. This was a great match. This was one I was very excited we had the opportunity to put on personally, professionally, and just as a fan. God damn, I love this. And then Zoë Sager. I know we sing her praises all the time, but rightfully so. Your LPW Grand Champion currently. She's one of the best in the industry. That's it. That's all as far as I'm concerned. So here we go with Willow Nightingale. As always, if you're in the chat, let us know how the sound is.
The following contest
I got a
is
feeling that's going to be
scheduled for one fall.
too loud. Because who would have thought that me shouting would be too loud for things? One of my favorite things about going back and watching these matches too is like the footage always looks great. It's always great matches, but like the amount of evolution that I guess we've had with Love Pro since these shows has been massive. Like if you tune into our current shows and the setup that we've got now, as far as our lighting, as far as all of that, like wildly different than what you're even seeing here.
Mm-hmm.
I was out of breath, you can tell.
I always love seeing the progression, the progression of the shows, the wrestlers from when this first ran to like where they are now, and just seeing what they've been able to do for themselves, character wise, wrestling wise. So it's a fun little trip back.
It's a fun little time capsule into Love Pro Wrestling, Blair.
Yes.
It's a fun little look back. How can you not be happy seeing Willow Nightingale?
Yeah.
Like, I firmly believe if you do not like Willow Nightingale, you do not like being happy. I don't have another way to put it. And there are very few pro wrestlers in this world that, like, for me, most people, I can at least find the reason I think that they would dislike someone. You know what I mean? You can always, oh, well, I don't do this, or they don't do this, or I don't like this about their character, whatever. I do not understand at my core how there is anyone on this planet who does not love Willow Nightingale as a pro wrestler.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Like, there was the shout out to the wrestling club. They put on a Willow Nightingale match, and it quickly devolved into a full dance party with her entrance. And they put that.
Of course, right? And that it makes perfect sense. She's just like, to steal a phrase from the WWE, just the power of positivity, man. See what I did there? That was good.
Yeah.
And then just kicks ass, like
Yeah.
just an absolute ass kicker.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of love to Chris Statlander and lots of love to Chris Statlander, but I still think Willow would have been the right call on Jade's end.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish they would have pulled off that one a little bit sooner, because I mean, I'm happy Jade is the NJPW Strong Women's Champion. Like, I know under unfortunate circumstances, but to see her get that and how happy she was, I mean, she deserves it. She deserves all the flowers, all the recognition, because she is absolutely crushing it.
Yeah, and that's again, it's out of. I think that's even what sparked us wanting to watch this week. Is that you never want to, for lack of a better way to put it, shit happens, and if shit's going to happen in the worst of ways, of course, like speedy recovery to Mercedes Moné. But at the end of the day, like, if a call had to be made, I am very glad that by circumstance, it's Willow Nightingale that benefits,
Yeah.
Just such a weird way to put it when you're talking about it happening because of an injury. It's almost the same way that you even look back on like Kofi Mania a couple of years ago, where it's like, man, I'm so happy this happened for Kofi, but like at the expense of Mustafa Ali.
Yeah. Yeah, you never want to see anyone get hurt, or, the unfortunate circumstances that happen. But like when someone else is able to, like, take that opportunity and help themselves out in like a mean way, like a non-inflammatory way, or deflammatory way. So it's like, it's nice.
It's nice.
It's nice.
And now, even for me too, like, just the rumors being out there, and I know it's a bit of a different story, obviously, with the, again, unfortunate history between Mercedes and Saraya, excuse me. But like, what's Willow going to do at Forbidden Door? You would at least hope that someone who is a New Japan champion working for AEW can find a spot on their co-branded pay-per-view. What's Willow going to do? Like,
I had an idea.
That's an exciting question. I want to hear this idea. Bebe, I'm going to shout you out real quick first, because you're right. We've got the freaking New Japan Strong Women's Champion on screen. We've got the LPW Grand Champion on screen. Blair, to you, sorry.
Well, I mean, you're not going to have Stardom there, which, I mean, we would love for that to happen, but it's just not in the cards. They can't get their Canadian visas in order. So
I was wondering if you were going to make the joke or make
So you have the Strong Women's Champion there. So have her defend the championship against someone like Riho, because those two can go out there, put on a match worthy of a pay-per-view without needing 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and it'll still get the NJPW title over. They will be able to have an incredible match. The fans love both of them, so why not?
Yeah, I think that's a great shout. Someone like that, or like, really, it's kind of nice, at least on Willow's end of things, is you can sort of pick from both promotions. And Zach, I really love that shout as well too. He says a triple threat against an NJPW star and an AEW star. That is the unique position. And again, in a way that, like, you know, it's weird because you sort of like have to walk both lines in pro wrestling. Is like we're talking earlier about, well, what's everybody going to do? It's kind of nice at this point to not know what Willow's going to do because there are so many valid options there. I think that's where and again, you know, not to disparage any of the talent, and I'm sure if his match gets announced, whoever's challenging MJF or whoever MJF is wrestling, I'm going to be psyched about it. But, you know, in my view, there's not as many options there for MJF to wrestle as the AEW champion, whether it's for the title or not. Whereas Willow, like, you can literally pick anybody and you're good to go. Right? Somebody wants to step up and earn an opportunity at the New Japan Strong Championship.
You know what? Like Zach's idea of a triple threat, you have, you know, Willow defending against whomever, you know, your Riho, your take any of the, you know, Nyla Rose, say, you know, Willow versus Nyla Rose versus, say, a mystery opponent. And you know who would actually be kind of interesting if they would be into it for like a kind of a Forbidden Door thing would be like, see if Jordan Grace would come in and do it.
That'd be real cool.
Yeah.
That'd be real cool.
That would be
the other one too.
Good.
And I don't know how you would book the finish of it, but like, why not Chris Statlander?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're not afraid to do time limit draws in AEW. So, I mean,
nope.
You can get away with it. And, you know, that I appreciate that they're willing to do a time limit draw, even though they know the fans won't be happy with it, because very rarely are they ever, because they want to see a winner. But they aren't afraid to do it. So you can get away with it.
There's a lot you can do there. Again, this is a good problem to have a lot of speculation on. MJF versus Yano. I said the same thing earlier, Zach. I don't know if you were in here at that point, but we're thinking alike, brother. There's just I was hoping for more, or at least more announcements, because again, like, Danielson and Okada is worth the price of admission alone.
I'm still surprised that they're doing Danielson and Okada, because I mean, like, you know, I mentioned before, it's got to be a longer match, so you can only have so many of those longer matches before the crowd kind of might not fully be into it. So I kind of thought they'd be, like,
I don't know.
With
like,
them,
to
they
be
should
honest
be able
with you, well, with them they should be able to, and like, for me, this is a very specific audience that you're pulling for. Like, even in a way that, you know, and I think AEW does a good job of catering to more casual fans too. I don't think that their complaint of they cater to the hardcores too much. Like, I don't think that's all that valid. But when you're doing an event like this and you are co-branding with New Japan and like you are bringing that style of fan in, and I do think there is going to be the expectation of longer matches for a lot of these, purely because that's been the standard for most of their history. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
these big, long, classic Broadway main events, ironically enough.
This is a show that is more catered to a hardcore wrestling fan, so you can get away with doing, you know, 2 or 3 longer matches, and it should be fine. It makes up for it throughout the rest of the show.
Like, I'm fully expecting it to be like a 4.5, 5 hour pay-per-view.
Yeah,
I really am.
Yeah. Like, I'm not expecting it.
That being said, there's 2 matches announced.
Yeah.
But even then, between those 2 matches, I could see them going 2.5 apiece.
Yeah.
Even or out. Take a quick little intermission for Tony Khan's big announcement. We'll do a 2.5 Broadway between Ospreay and Omega. Come back from intermission, and we'll do Okada Danielson in 5 out of 7 falls match. There we go. I've booked Forbidden Door, you guys.
Lawrence, is there any matches you want to see on there?
Like, I think out of the ones that are, like, I would really like to see Orange Cassidy versus Suzuki. That's like the like I've already gotten to see Suzuki live once and be like inches away from him, but like that match, I'm very excited to see Orange Cassidy for the first time live. I feel a little bad that Mercedes Moné won't be there because that was somebody I was looking forward to. I don't know. Like I'm very optimistic and like I'd be fine with like a couple surprises coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have even MJF, you could have him come out, talk shit, and then one of the New Japan guys comes out and surprises him. Like you can do a surprise match there.
I think there's going to be one sort of like open challenge situation.
Yeah.
I know like last year it sort of came out of the shitty circumstance of Danielson's injury, but like sort of like Cesaro or Claudio. I still do that. And I always feel bad when I do it. Do right by their proper names. But like when Claudio answered for Zack Sabre Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's he doing at the show? Like there's so many people you just like, what are they doing? Not in a bad way, just like physically, like what are they actually going to do? Whom are they going to perform the art of wrestling with at this show that takes place in 2 weeks' time? Like, I bet you'll get a lot of announcements on Collision just to try and draw a number there.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, it's 10 days. I'm like, what are ticket sales like?
For Forbidden Door or Collision?
Hey, Siri, how many tickets have been sold for Forbidden Door 2023? I want you to tell me. I would like you to tell me this, not just list them. Now I have to read it, and I don't get Australian Siri reading it to the viewers of Love Pro Wrestling. Okay, so as of 6 days ago, Dave Adamson on Wrestle Talk. I'm reading the article. Oh, latest sales revealed by WrestleTix. So the Scotiabank Arena is configured for 12,972 seats. The total number of tickets distributed is 12,958. That leaves a total of 14 tickets available. So they're doing okay.
Yeah.
Looks like their strategy of not announcing matches has worked just fine, you guys. Looks like there's... Why? If you've got a graphic designer on retainer, don't need to pay him this month.
Nope.
Just don't do a match graphic. We're not going to announce them. People are sold. We're fine. WrestleMania last year. Fuck did you announce a match for? Sold out without one of them announced.
Yeah.
Here's your 2 Royal Rumble winners. They'll face someone at the show. How are pay-per-view buys doing? Because that was something I did not consider in the sentence I just said.
Double or Nothing was on par, just throwing that out there.
All right, I bet you they're... you know what? Actually, no, I'm just going to make this the blanket statement. I think they're doing just fine.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a lie. Eric Bischoff said that they were the biggest financial flop in wrestling history. Again, that's...
Yeah.
Lots of love to Eazy-E. Silver Fox, handsome dude. Got a lot of time for Eazy-E. Don't have a lot of time for that statement.
Mm-mm.
CM Punk is the biggest financial... That was sick, by the way.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
CM Punk is the biggest financial flop in wrestling history. Have you heard of WCW, Eric Bischoff? I don't have a book called The Death of AEW in my fucking kitchen right now. Do you have a Death of WCW? And there's a lot more parts in it about the death of it than the alive of it.
It's a very good book, too.
Great book. Really, really great book. Shout out to my ex's aunt because she bought it for me as a Secret Santa gift. What's up, Mary? Hope you're well. Regards. If you're tuned into my wrestling stream right now, fuck yeah, appreciate you, bud. Was CM Punk's contract for $64 million? It was not for $64 million. You and I actually had very similar tweets about this. It was funny because we pulled 2 different facts about the financial failure of WCW. It was not for $64 million, nor was AEW offered to buy for quite literally like thousands of times its value a year before it sold. $500 million from SFX Entertainment. You know what it sold for? $4.2 million on the high end.
Like, that reminds me, like, I just watched the Blackberry movie. And you're talking like it's the exact same
Jim
thing.
Ball Silly, hey?
Yeah, Jim Ball Silly trying to desperately get an NHL team.
I was just gonna say,
That's where that name sounds
Jim
familiar.
goes. Jim goes to Nashville, chapter 4.
They do. Like
I'm
it's
also
part of
just
the-
gonna like throw this one out here. Like RIM is a bad abbreviation for your
Yeah.
company.
especially if you work there and you've got to tell people you have a rim job.
You know what I like about Sunday brunch with you guys is that I can laugh throughout the entire thing.
Oh no, I hit the wrong button.
Oh,
There we go.
that was good.
Wrestling talking rim jobs.
Yeah.
Research in motion jobs, you guys. Mine's out of the gutter. Grow up.
Oh,
Grow up, Doug. Let's announce a match. It's one I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
Real excited about. Love Pro Wrestling returns to the Rec Room for 2 shows this month. LPW times CWS number 4 taking place on June 29th. That is the Thursday night. Tickets are available, just $10 a pop. And if you want a little bit of a taster of Love Pro Wrestling, that's your easiest way to get in, your most inexpensive way to get in, but still one of the highest quality wrestling shows that you're going to catch in Western Canada, in my fine opinion. But the next night, Love Pro Wrestling 16, I think you should lariat, takes place at that same Rec Room. Tickets are $30. Floor tickets are taken care of. They're all gone. They're taken... I was going to repeat myself there, but they're gone. They're all gone. VIP tickets, all gone. But you can still get in for general admission at $30 a pop because you're going to see the Canadian debut of Shazza McKenzie. You're going to see Gigi Ray return to Edmonton, Alberta for the first time since last October. You're going to see a bunch of great matches in between that as well. And you are going to see Sebastian Wolf taking on Jared Rogers for the first time ever. Sebastian Wolf back after a hell of a main event last month. And I don't need to sell you on the wily veteran Jared Rogers. That guy has been a staple since making his debut at the first ever LPW times CWS show. Got a lot of love for him, a lot of love for the big bad Wolf. So make sure you guys are there, making sure you are checking out some of the best in professional wrestling, not just inside the ring, but personally as well, too. Lots of great human beings involved in Love Pro, including on the content end of things. We want to make sure we're supporting them as well, too. So stay tuned this week for a ton of great content. As I've mentioned a couple of times, we've got a current edition of the LPW show featuring Gigi Ray and Blair Pacheco. Later this week, we're going to have Shazza McKenzie chatting with JPJ. Both of those are behind the paywall on the Patreon. On Thursday, Between Two Beards returns. I don't have any insight as to what their guest is this week quite yet, which usually means they're expensive. So please let me know, JPJ and Pluggo. I would appreciate a heads up. Thanks. I believe this Saturday, Blair, you guys are set for this Saturday on For Exposure?
Sunday because shoot jobs are getting in the way.
Shoot jobs, brother, but you're shooting yourself in the foot if you're not tuned in prior to Sunday brunch next Sunday for Exposure. There we go. See, that was tied in nicely. I did well
good.
there. Thank you. I did pretty well there. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. On top of that, you got a myriad of great content. Firmly, AEW will be live on Wednesday reviewing Dynamite. I'm not 100% sure whether it's going to be right after Collision or if it's going to be taking place on Saturday or Sunday as well, too. But stay tuned to Love Wrestling CA wherever podcasts are played, videos are viewed, or awesome content is created by awesome people, because you're going to be getting a lot of announcements on that end of things on the content. And man, I love what we do. We get to a lot of really cool shit.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah.
And Zach's right. Baby, I apologize as well, too, because, well, let me tell you, I was excited to play some Smash Bros. Yesterday. I was really excited because I haven't beat Zach in a while, but I was feeling confident after taking care of my garden yesterday. I was like, you know what? This probably plays well into my hand dexterity, getting in there and seeding some stuff. So I was excited to whip Zach at some Super Smash Bros. Yesterday. Unfortunately, not the case, but likely the case this Saturday. So make sure you're tuned in. Make sure you continue to support wherever you can. And Bebe, to you specifically and any other of our Patreons who are in the chat, thank you for... Rip, come on. I'm doing my sign off. Now you hop up. Thank you for supporting a little bit extra on the Patreon end of things. Hope you stay tuned there for a lot of great content, exclusive matches, archived interviews, and a ton in between. Blair, I'll move on to you here as I try and recover with my pup firmly on my microphone cable. Where can the people find you, friend?
You can find me up on Twitter at GraymakerPod, all other social media platforms, just Grainmaker Wrestling Podcast. So just
you.
go follow, like all that sort of stuff. This week on the podcast, I got James Roth, who came to my humble abode and we recorded live. And
Hey, neat.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a good chat. James is a great guy, so you're going to learn a lot about him. And then after that, we got Joe King the following week, and then Thaddeus Archer the third the week after that. So June is going to be jam-packed with some great interviews.
Very excited for those, my friends. And again, I know I keep plugging the Patreon, but I'm really proud of the content we've got there. If you want the full video editions of the Grainmaker Wrestling Podcast, as always, make sure you're taking advantage wherever you can. Tune in on your audio feeds. But you want to throw a little bit extra and you want to see Blair's handsome mug a little bit more often, head there. You can check that out at the $5 tier. Lawrence!
Yo!
What's up? Where can they find you? Every time I say, where can they find you? You guys always say that you can find me. And then I just start with like country grammar in my head. You know what I mean? You can find me in St. Louis rolling on. Yeah, every single time. Every single time. But sorry, I needed to get that out eventually because I hate interrupting. So there we go. Now you can get this out without me saying shit.
You will not find me in St. Louis.
Rolling on dubs?
Yeah. Sadly not. I'm too poor to be rolling on dubs. You can find me at KartSayNDG on Instagram and Twitter. Also, shout out to the IWS who just signed a deal with Fight Plus. So, if
Hell yeah!
if you haven't ever come to Montreal and you can't make it out, be sure to check it out because we've seen a lot of the IWS faces on here. They've definitely been very kind to us. So yeah, there's so much talent there, so much up and coming talent that you will see for the first time. Check it out on Fight Plus starting in July with Scarred for Life. Yeah,
an excellent shout. A huge congrats as well to the IWS. I'm sure I'm speaking on behalf of everyone with Love Pro, but goddamn, we got a lot of love for the folks out there in Montreal. So congratulations. As Lawrence said, make sure you're tuned in on Fight whenever you get the opportunity, whether it's their weekly programming, whether it's their premium live events to steal a phrase. Make sure that you're tuned in. Make sure you're supporting Canadian professional wrestling, all of your independents, wherever you may be tuned in, whether you're in Winnipeg or worldwide, to take a phrase from a good friend of mine. Wherever you may be, support your local indie. You're never ever going to get a better live experience than professional wrestling, in my opinion. If you want to follow me on the old Twitter machine, you can find me at Spenny Love. You can still find me on Hive because I don't know how to delete my account on there. So you can find me at that one. I just probably haven't posted since like the day I signed up. But like I said earlier, while I was reading out the great stuff that we've got coming out this week, if you want to support all of us here at Love Wrestling, make sure you follow us wherever podcasts are played, videos are viewed, or awesome content is created by awesome people at Love Wrestling CA. You want it all in one fell swoop, head to lovewrestling.ca. You're not only going to get the content that we've got here on YouTube and Twitch and everywhere in between, but awesome written content. You're going to get wrestler profiles, all of that good stuff from LPW. And, of course, make sure you pick up your tickets for our final 2 events of the month. LPW times CWS number 4 on the Thursday, the 29th, and Love Pro Wrestling 16. I think you should lariat on Friday, June 30th. Those tickets are available on Eventbrite, or if you want to just hop in my DMs and shoot me a message, I can get those sent over to you without the Eventbrite fee included. Put a couple bucks back in your pocket for an LPW Brainbuster brew at the home of Edmonton's best professional wrestling. The Rec Room, South Edmonton Common. We'll be back here, same bat time, same bat channel next week. Blair, Lawrence, I'll assume you'll be here. We formed a nice little trio here on Sunday mornings.
Yeah.
So I was right the first time. That never happens. I'm never right the first time. But thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next week here on Love Wrestling's Brunch Gimmick. But make sure you're tuned in through the week, friends. You're going to get a lot of previews, reviews, breaking news, and interviews from the wide world of Canadian pro wrestling. See you, friends. Lots of love to you.